Welcome back to another episode of the Menopause Coach Podcast with me, your host as always, Adele Johnston, your menopause coach and educator for the next 20 minutes or so. Today's episode we are going to look at from a beautiful heartfelt lens, but it goes without saying, as always, this is not to replace your own medical support and doctor's information. So please make sure that if you are requiring any medical support or assistance, you do so through your own medical teams. This is not meant to replace any of that. It is here for your education and information only. Menopause weight loss. It is a big topic. It's one that I've actually been having detailed conversations with in and around the women's health space for quite a while, especially over the last week as we come into summer solstice. Everyone's starting to think about getting bikini ready. Yeah, these are conversations that sit deeply in my heart and they come up time and time again because we start to think about what does that even mean. Okay, so we're going to look at how to get your badass back when nothing feels like it's working. Whew, I know what you're thinking, right? We've all been there. We go there from time to time. It doesn't evade us at points in life. So I think what's important with all of this before we even begin today's episode is really to come at this from a place of listen. Just allow your ears to take in what I'm saying today with a beautiful invitation of letting it sit in the body. Recognize when we are talking together today, you and I here, where this sits inside your body and how it feels whenever I bring up any of these points for you. So with love, you maybe press play on this episode today. I know the title will have brought you here some way, shape or fashion because you've maybe typed into the search bar of any search field now, okay? We've not just got Google. Gone are the days we just had Google. You've maybe been in the depths of AI, searching things like menopause weight loss and how to lose weight during menopause, or is menopause preventing me from losing weight? Probably more times than you even want to care to admit that you've done right now. And I want to just welcome you with open arms and a beautiful big heart to say you are so welcome to be here because this is what I do. So if you've been feeling like you've been doing everything you used to, okay, you're eating well, you are moving your body, you are trying to make sure that you get what your body needs to thrive right now. Sleep, practices that make you feel happy and joy-filled. Yeah, all the things that actually you're like, I'm doing everything right. Everything that the so-called gurus and experts tell me that I need to do, I'm doing this all right. And yet your scales are not showing any difference in numbers, or if they are, it's not by much. They're maybe going the wrong way in terms of what you think they should be. Maybe your clothes are not feeling like they're just, not fitting as well as you would like them to be. We've all been there. And maybe you're just feeling super uncomfortable when you look in the mirror at yourself completely naked. Maybe you don't even do that. And I want you to really sit with this when I say things like weight loss and fat loss in menopause are two different things. I've done episodes on this in the past, and I think what really intrigues me around it is we hear a lot around weight loss and fat loss, and the two are used interchangeably, but they are different things entirely. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, then please do go check out the previous episodes that I've done on fat loss and weight loss and what both of them mean. In summary, fat loss being the fat cells. Now, interestingly, we don't lose fat cells, they shrink. This is in really exciting parts of the body, right? Our adipose tissue, our cells will become enlarged. And when we then lose body fat, they shrink. They reduce down in size. When we're losing weight or when we're manipulating weight, that can be done through multiple different ways. It's not just about adipose tissue and fat cells. It's actually about your bone weighs, your organs weigh, your beautiful heart and your lungs and your brain, they all weigh things, weigh amounts. Your blood in your body weighs amounts. When you are consuming things that are fast-acting carbohydrates that create glycogen stores in the body and the muscle, that weighs. The food in your tummy weighs. The waste in your bowel weighs. Okay, if you've just had hair extensions fitted, they weigh. So bearing in mind when we talk about fat loss and weight loss, they are different. This episode is about looking through the lens of whether that be weight reduction for you in terms of fat loss, weight loss. I'm going to let you decide on what's important to you right now. It's not my decision to make for you. But this isn't really about fat loss or weight loss at all, this episode. So spoiler alert. Because after coaching thousands of women through menopause, I've realized something massive. I've been the weight loss coach and the fat loss coach, and both together. Very few women actually come to me because of the number on their scales. Even though, I may add, when I've done research on the amount of interactions that we've had with women around it, 97% of inquiries came into my business relating to, I want to lose weight. That was predominantly the reason that we would then start working with women. Now, interestingly, that's not what we ended up focusing on. It was the end result, yes, of course, yeah. Women losing 4 stone, 5 stone, more than that over the time that we worked together. But very few women actually came to me because of the numbers on the scales. They came because they've lost something more valuable to themselves, and that was themselves. They lost connection to who they were. They felt like they didn't recognize their body anymore, internally or externally. And I wonder if you've maybe been saying the same things lately, and it becomes the whole thing of, oh my gosh, I just need to lose some weight. But really what that translates to is, I just don't recognize myself anymore. I'm doing everything I'm told to do, everything I used to do, and nothing is working anymore to help me feel confident and connected to myself again. Maybe you feel so uncomfortable in the body that you're now finding yourself in because of the changes. And you don't recognize that anymore. It's alien. It doesn't feel normal. Maybe you miss the woman that you felt you used to be. You look at old photographs and images and things of yourself and think, oh my gosh, like I was stunning, or I loved my look, or I loved my body shape when I look at this photo, but back then I didn't think that I looked great. Maybe you just don't feel like the woman that you used to be anymore. And that is what this conversation is about. Not about the overthinking, not about the worrying, but about the woman who now wants to say yes to herself, yes to opportunities for yourself, to back yourself, to feel powerful again, to feel like an absolute badass. Yeah. Big part of everything, right? It's not just about, I'm going to just, find my confidence again. It's actually about that inner badass in you. She's still there. I promise you. Because when we know what it is that we are truly saying when we say, I really just need to lose some weight, this podcast is really going to help you open your heart and your mind to when you are saying that. You are not average. You wouldn't be here if you were. You're the woman that everyone is possibly dependent upon right now. I was speaking with one of my clients this morning about this. She is a business owner. She is a mum. She is a pet owner. She's flying so many different flags, and she keeps on coming back to the same bottleneck of everyone just wants me to fix everything for them. Yeah, her clients, of course, that's what her business is about. Her children, of course, she is their mum. The pets, they always turn to her, right? It's like absolutely all of these different hats that we wear. Everyone depends on you, me, us. We're the go-tos. Yeah, we've built the careers. We've raised the humans, or we are raising them. We are running businesses, or we are in building the career that is our dream career, right? Wherever you are in life, you are welcome here. You're holding everything and everyone together right now. You are the problem solver, the fixer. You're the compass that everyone looks to be like, ooh, this happened. Now what? Where do we go? Tell me. You've carried more and more emotional load than most people probably ever could or would ever realize that you have. And you are so freaking resilient. So everyone just expects that you are fine. You're capable. You're strong. You're a badass. But somewhere during the transition into menopause and perimenopause, you've started questioning all of it. Not because you suddenly became less capable, less resilient, less strong, less of a badass, but because something in you has changed. your body, your ability to focus. Symptoms are overriding how you feel. And oh my gosh, when all that starts to happen and our physical body starts to change, it has this incredible way of making us question everything. Everything about ourselves, everything about happiness, everything about relationships, everything about what we're doing with life. I want to tell you something actually as part of this. I don't think the hardest part of menopause is the majority of the symptoms we face. Don't get me wrong, they're horrendous at times. I don't think it's even to do with the weight gain itself. I hold a lot of my weight when I gain it around my belly, around my thighs, around my butt. I never seem to really put it on the places I would like it to go, like on my boobs. I mean, what is that? Right? But I really do think the hardest part of all of this is grieving the woman that you used to be, to a point. And I want to make this something that you can relate to because you deserve that, but also the preparation of that grief that actually gets to become a cracking and an opening into your next version of you, the next self. Nobody tells us there'll be a moment where we will literally catch ourselves and be like, oh my gosh, when did I age? When did this change? When did this start becoming different for me? Nobody tells you that you're going to stand getting changed one day and think, I do not recognize this body anymore. I don't know how to dress her. I don't know how to sit or maneuver or pose in front of photographs. I don't know what bikini to wear. I don't even know if I want to wear a bikini anymore. Things start to change in what feels like this dramatic fast fashion for us. And no one tells you that you're going to want to go into avoidance. Avoidance for the social gatherings or the events or the opportunities or even wearing the bikini or being in the photographs. So you stop putting yourself forward for opportunities, whether that be in business or at work. You start saying no more than you start saying yes. You start second guessing yourself in meetings because, I'm not entirely sure anymore if that's even right. You wonder if people are starting to just see you completely differently. And all of a sudden, you become a shadow of yourself. Your confidence in yourself changes. And once that starts happening, everything is affected. I remember this so vividly. Honestly, it's wild. The relationships that you have become impacted. Your career or your business starts to take an impact. The way that you lead, whether that be in life, whether that be through family, whether that be in your business or career, it's like all of this just starts to become different. And as human beings, we're not always great with different or change. Confidence doesn't just stay in one part of our life. It spreads. It becomes a core part of who we are and how we show up. Now, one of the biggest myths about menopause weight loss itself, or menopause weight gain, fat loss, however you want to phrase this for you, and it really irritates the complete bones of my life when I hear underqualified or unqualified individuals in the space talk about, well, you just need more discipline. No, we do not. As menopausal women, it is not the discipline. Let me say that louder. You do not need more discipline. That's not what this is about. Most of the women that I work with or have worked with in the past have spent their entire lives being disciplined. We freaking know what it's like to be disciplined. That's not the problem. The challenge that we have is that you're trying to use, and put in place strategies that worked for a body that no longer exists for you, in the physical and the emotional. Your hormones have changed. They are changing. The stress response that your body could cope with previously is changing. Your muscle mass is changing. Your recovery is changing. Your sleep is changing. Your brain is changing. This is not just discipline, and it's certainly not about just eat a little bit less and move a little bit more. Ugh. I mean, if it was that easy, none of us would have the challenges that we face in our confidence with our bodies in menopause. And we all face them. As much as we maybe look at one woman to another and think, oh my gosh, like her figure is so beautiful, we naturally will do that. Powerful, strong is what we want to go for, right? So why do we expect that our body will respond the same way it did when we were in our 20s, when we were in our late 30s, our 40s, our 50s and beyond? It won't, right? And it shouldn't. This is a powerful time. It's not failure. This is biology. And actually, how cool is it that we then get to look at, I have matured. I have evolved. I am now another part to my leadership for self. Yeah. It's not that we're getting anything wrong. Your body hasn't failed you. This is not about you getting old, right? I don't feel old. Maybe I'm in denial, but I don't feel old. So I'm certainly not going to sit back and say it's just because I'm getting older. We're all getting older every second of every day. I think we forget that in order to stay connected to ourselves, in the physical form, our bodies, in the emotional form, our minds, our heart space, we have to woo ourselves. We have to date ourselves, have relationships with ourselves. This is important. The amount of women that I will speak with in emails, DMs, messages, one-to-one sessions, this comes up time and time again. We've forgotten ourselves in the journey. We've put everyone else at the forefront. We are the fixer. We are the compass. And we've left ourselves behind. We no longer recognize what we love. We no longer know who we are. So the question that I invite you to really think about right now is, what if the woman that you are missing right now is behind you? See, when I asked myself this question, this was years ago, it literally transformed how I seen myself. What if she's also ahead of you? Hear me out. The version of you that's behind you is the version that you have forgotten. The version of you that's ahead of you is the version that you are allowing. And what if menopause is not about taking away discipline and confidence and self-connection and all the things that we associate with being like really tough and really difficult, which they can be and they are at times? What if it's actually asking you to build that relationship with yourself again? To really connect in with what makes you happy? What makes you smile? I had a dance today. I was listening to a song, actually. It came on one of my playlists. I didn't even realize it was on there. So, on Spotify how when we are deep into like a soundtrack and it will then put on other like by like, it just adds them in. Added in this song and it was in a foreign language. And I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And then it started to sing the chorus and I was like, I know this song. It was a song that when I was at uni, in my third year at uni, I went over to study in Germany for 7 months. And oh my gosh, I met the most amazing people. We are still friends today from all over the world. And this song came on in one of the clubs that we were in and we were all just singing away to it. And it was just the most gorgeous song ever. It came on and it reminded me of that moment in time with those people from uni in the Germany nightclub. And it just put this big smile on my face. I stopped everything that I was doing and I just started to dance in my office. And it was just like things like that. When was the last time you allowed yourself that? When was the last time you connected with, oh, this feels good, and you just allow yourself to dance or sing, if that's your thing, right? What if this is a time that you're being invited to remember yourself? Oh, so good, right? What if this is a time that you are invited to be more intentional with yourself? Oh, yes, please. More unapologetic. No apologizing, please. What if this is a chapter that is your new beginning? A stepping out and leaving behind the version that we've just forgotten about. An evolution of stepping into becoming that future version of ourselves that actually we strive for, we really want to become. I see it all the time. Women who come to me wanting to lose weight, but actually knowing that it's not the weight loss that they truly, truly seek. It's going to happen. It's a byproduct of everything that we do anyway. But somewhere along the way in the journey of everything, we start to sleep again. They stop apologizing. They start to do things that actually moves their body into a new state of equilibrium, a new state of homeostasis, a new state of health. All of a sudden, they're asking for promotions. I love this version of you. Honestly, I had a client who did this 5 promotions later. Then she retired. Right? Awesome. Was going to resign from her career when we started working together. Right? It's incredible. There's a part of you that will maybe be ready to leave unhealthy relationships behind, whether that be with, unfortunately, someone that you are connected with, someone that you no longer want to be connected with. Maybe that's a version of yourself. Maybe you're ready to launch your business. Maybe you're ready to step into a purpose path. Maybe you're ready to become a menopause coach and do what I do. Maybe you're ready to join a movement of other women's health and menopause support experts. Who knows what's going to come for you as you start to really allow this future version of you to come through. Maybe you're going to stop hiding. Maybe you don't realize you've been doing it. Become more visible again. And yes, the weight loss, the fat loss, all of these things will start to happen as you start to reconnect with your truth, your purpose meaningfully. But for all of us, and for me as your menopause coach in this moment, that's not even the biggest transformation that awaits you. The biggest transformation that awaits you is that you remember who you truly are, why you're truly here, becoming that stronger version of yourself, that more resilient, badass version of yourself. And I think that's why, number one, I love this space, these conversations. This is not a job or work to me. This is purpose. This is passion. And I get paid for this. That is super cool, right? So super cool. The amount of opportunities that come our way when we step into truth and purpose like this. It's magical. It really is. It matters. It really does. Because the world needs more women like you and I. It needs women. We're in our 40s. We're in our 50s, 60s, 70s. We're leading. Yes, we are still the compass, but we are leading from pure and utter purpose. We're starting the businesses. We're evolving the businesses. We're expanding. We're writing books, right? Everyone has a book in them. I'm just in the thrust of writing some chapters for a new book that I'm writing at the minute. It's very exciting. We're speaking on stages. I mean, who would have thought that this is where you would maybe be right now? Or maybe you're like sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I would never do that. Yes, you could. You've got it in you. You really do. Maybe you're here to mentor the younger women. The pathway that you've already walked, you're meant to be their mentor to show them the way. Different to coaching. Yeah, mentoring. It's beautiful. You're changing healthcare. Let's not wait for the medical teams to do that. We get to do that too. You're changing workplaces. You're enhancing family dynamics. You don't need brilliant women disappearing in the spaces because we don't feel confident in our own bodies and skin. We need us, all of us collectively stepping forward, claiming that version of you that waits ahead of you. She's there. You've literally just got to step into her, claim the energy, claim the space. Yeah. Oh, it makes me so excited. You know, when I first became a menopause coach, I remember sitting and thinking, this is how I help women manage their symptoms. And then I claimed a slightly different word from that. Instead of a menopause coach, I claimed the menopause coach. And that changed everything. It really, truly did. I know that this is only a tiny part of what I do. Each episode I record you may change something psychologically, metaphorically, physiologically for you, depending on how you choose to act. It's always your choice on what you do when you listen to these. I would implore you not to just listen to them. Shut down the app that you're listening to it on. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, I see you. I think what's really important with everything that we come to do together is that we do it from a place of love and we do it from a place of connection. We're here to help women stop seeing menopause as the beginning of an end. Holy hell, it has not been my end. It has been my beginning. and start seeing that this is the most powerful chapter of our lives, of our stories. For some women, this is the journey that actually is their becoming, the transformation, the time in life where we realize that we want to actually mentor other women, take them on the journey and show them the way. Not because we're thinking, do you know what? I just need to go do something, because we feel called to it, pulled to it. Yeah. We don't need to just go create more jobs for ourselves. It's like, I want to have a purpose. I don't just want a job or something I have to go do. I think this is massive. I know this is massive. I don't think it. When you finally feel called to do something that's bigger than you, is part of the collective, this is where everything starts to come together. Every lesson you've had, every challenge you've faced, every succession or victory that you've felt in your own journey, and you're able to tell someone else, and she has an easier ride. Don't we want that for everyone? Create purpose, create impact. It's a beautiful space to be in. And that's exactly why, for me, as the menopause coach, as a woman who has so many methodologies that work for me and my health, the hundreds of women that I have coached through these methods, the hundreds and thousands of people that I train on these episodes. There's over 300,000 of you on here, which is super cool, right? All around the world, literally like everywhere around the world, which is awesome. Learning this evidence-based guided practice whenever we come together each week. But it's also a reason why I pulled all of those methodologies, frameworks, my knowledge, my brain inside an academy, the Menopause Support Coach Academy, that houses our certification. It's not just about training brilliant coaches. It goes far beyond that. It's about creating a movement that will last, a movement of women who know that menopause isn't the end of that journey. Okay, it's the chapter where they become who they truly are and always were meant to be. Maybe you're listening to this today because the title was something that really brought you in, thinking about weight loss or fat loss for yourself. But maybe actually what's brought you here is in the hope that you are going to come away with something that is way more valuable and connective for you. I want to remind you that you are a freaking badass. I love you. I love you being here. You have not stepped into this space to disappear. You have not stepped into the space to be buried by exhaustion or others' expectations, or hormonal changes, or self-doubt, or any of the other things that have been putting pressure on you. Your job now isn't to become who you used to be. She's potentially the version of you that you've left behind, and you know it. Your job now, your role now, your purpose now is to become the woman that is ahead of you. This next chapter self that you're going to step into. And trust me when I say this, she's going to be even more extraordinary. Oh my gosh, right? So much of a badass. I love that you've been here today. I love that we've had this time together today. And if this episode has spoken to you on a deep heart level, then I want to share with you, woman to woman, from one woman who needs to hear this, from another woman who needed to hear this, that you are capable of anything and everything. And if something inside you is really nudging you, telling you that whisper that I heard, you're meant for more, whether that's feeling stronger in your own body, leading life differently, or helping other women navigate menopause with confidence and support, then come and chat with me. Because the most abundant and amazing things happen when you voice your purpose pull to someone else. It may be that I have a connection for you that can make that happen. It may be that I have a program of support that can make that happen. It may be that I have an episode that you've not even listened to yet. Maybe it's one of my secret podcast episodes and you need to listen to it. Because for you, the next chapter starts with the choice and the decisions that you make from this moment on. So I'm going to leave you with this, because this might just be the most powerful invitation that you will ever receive or have received in your life. What are you going to do next? And I will see you next week in our next episode. Thank you for being here. I love you dearly, and I cannot wait to hear how this has impacted your life. Come find me, drop me a DM, and as always, You can stay connected with me across socials. You will find me on Instagram at the.menopausecoach. You will find me across any of the other platforms if you simply jump into Google, type in Adele the Menopause Coach. Everything will come up for you. And if you feel the pull to learn more about how you too can join in the menopause support space, well, why not come and join one of my free trainings? I run them constantly, okay? I want you to really benefit from. So jump over into my Instagram, find out when the next one is, and I will see you there.